Alright, you've seen the title of this video, 41 zombie movies ranked from worst to best. So let's get this list started with number 41, Live Escape. This movie is a 2022 release and it follows two cops investigating an empty homeless shelter with an endless maze of spaces. Then they become attacked by zombies. So this one's on the bottom for a reason. This is the worst zombie movie I've seen in a long time. Um, I'm a movie lover, so I try and give everything its fair shake. Yeah, so Live Escape is almost unwatchable. I could barely finish this one. If you come across this, if you see the title art for this, I think it's on Tubi, just walk away. Do not check this one out. It is bad. So I believe there's at least five Return of the Living Dead movies, and we all know the original is a classic, but there was a few that came out, especially 4 and 5, which are pretty rough. This one here is Return of the Living Dead Necropolis. This one's from 2005. We're looking at like 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb gives it a 3.3, so I suppose that's pretty fair. There's a certain enjoyment to the Return of the Living Dead movies. If this one's your jam, then great for you, but this one just doesn't do it for me. The acting is lacking, the plot isn't there. This is what you get. While trying to rescue their captive friend, teens release brain-eating zombies at a sinister research facility. So, yeah, for an hour and a half, you could give it a watch. I suppose it's watchable on Live Escape, but just barely. This one is CAM, Contagious Aggressive Mutations. This one is buyer beware. If there was any more misleading box art, I don't know if I've seen it. The box art for this one is actually pretty cool looking, but the movie is very lackluster. And I'm kind of stretching it to say that it's a zombie movie. Not really, but here's the gist of it. A local meat processing plant has been contaminated with a rare parasite, and tactical police are dispatched to evacuate the area. So at this packing plant, everybody starts going crazy with this parasite, and they get super aggressive, they attack people, so it's basically a zombie movie depending on how you want to look at it. But I'm throwing it on here. It is pretty much a dog shit movie as well. This one is currently on Tubi if you want to check it out. It is watchable, barely, but if you're just going off the box art and you're looking for a really good zombie movie that's got a plot and good characters and action, this one just isn't the one for you.
Zombies, exploding heads, creepy crawlies. We could have a little problem.
So I might get in some hot water for this one, but at number 38 we find Night of the Creeps. So I've got no problem with this one. This is a fine retro 80s zombie campy movie, coming out in 1986. It's pretty fair rated on Rotten Tomatoes and such, with like 74%. We shouldn't put too much weight into that, but just quick little oversight as I'm looking up these movies. And this one it's definitely a zombie movie, but it's got alien brain parasites that enter humans through like these slug-like creatures, and they basically turn them into zombies. So it's a little quirky, it's a little fun. It's one of those mid 80s to late 80s horror movies. This one just didn't catch my attention like other titles from this time period, but there's really nothing wrong with it. It's definitely a watchable, enjoyable film. If you're having one of those nights you want to see something retro, something kind of corny and campy. But there it is, number 38 is Night of the Creeps. And I hope I don't piss too many people off with my ranking of this one at number 38 out of 41. Grabbing the number 37 spot on this list is a true disappointment to me. Going back and watching Return of the Living Dead, fell in love with it, great movie. And then I was super stoked to watch Return of the Living Dead Part 2, and boy did it fall off for me, was I disappointed. It started off cool enough. I like how the barrel falls off the truck, the kids find it. There's still some cool practical effects and zombie designs, and you got the two main characters are back from the first one, Joey and Ed, And that's what really holds it up for me is the way Ed went out in the first one, which was really cool, really poignant. And then all of a sudden he's back as a grave robber in part two. Just didn't make any damn sense to me. The punk rock feel was gone. A lot of the laughs and just craziness and just what it did to the culture, like the first one did back in '85. They waited 3 years to put out part two. Another one with cool cover art, but geez, it does not live up to it. It doesn't even sniff the first one. It doesn't live up to the cover art. And some people like this, and that's fine. If you're into this, if you like all the Return of the Living Deads, but for me, this one just makes its way near the bottom of the list. Just a disappointing sequel to me. Our next movie is Zombies of Mass Destruction. So I get it if you've never heard of this one, and yeah, the box art looks a little funny, but don't let it fool you. This is a pretty good watch. You can find this on Tubi right now. So basically, here's the overview of this movie. An idyllic island town is under attack by the most invasive of pests. That's right, zombies. Port Gamble is being overrun with brain eaters, and a ragtag band of rebels is trying to turn the tide and push the invading hordes of undead back. And this one was enjoyable. Pretty good acting and action. I was pleasantly surprised when I threw this one on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not no top 10 zombie movie of all time, but for a low budget, probably like indie production, this one holds its own and is pretty enjoyable. So if you get the chance to see this one, like I said, it's on Tubi, I would recommend it. Just don't go in hoping too much. You just want a nice popcorn movie, watch some zombie action, some gore, some blood. This could be the movie for you. Zombies of Mass Destruction. Our next ghoulish feature is Return of the Living Dead Rave to the Grave. So, this is the third installment of the Return of the Living Dead series that has been brought up so far. The least favorite of mine was Necropolis, followed by Return of the Living Dead Part 2. And number 3, which would be somewhere in the middle, would be Rave to the Grave. I remember this one when it came out. When did this one drop? This one came out back in 2005. So I was fresh out of high school, starting the first year of college when this came out. I remember the box art. Um, it had some laughs. It was interesting. It really sold itself on like this drug culture. So here's the snippet of it. A college student distills a ghoulish drug from a compound used to create brain-hungry zombies, resulting in the resurrection of the living dead. So that was the gist of like the ad campaign and the trailers, commercials that were out there. It's like this kid creates this drug that turns you into a zombie, and then it goes all throughout his friends group, and then how does the government cover this up? Um, so I mean, it's campy, it's corny, it's not the greatest movie, but as far as they go with Return of the Living Dead, this would be my third least favorite of them. So you could check it out if you want. It's on some of the streaming sites. I don't believe it's on Tubi right now. Yeah, that's right. It's not on Tubi. This one's a little bit harder to find if you're trying to complete the whole um, franchise and you got to add this one. You can see it on Plex right now. You'd have to do some research. It's out there if you want to see it. Not the greatest film, but you know what? It's worth a watch. Next up on the list is House of the Dead 2. So, yeah, if you grew up in the 90s, if you like to go to arcades, you probably were familiar with the House of the Dead arcade games. I know I've dropped more than a few quarters on the House of the Dead games at my local arcade. Great time, great nostalgic feeling thinking about that. And so with that came a couple movies as well. So you got House of the Dead. The one we're talking about right now is House of the Dead 2. This movie is hot garbage. It is not very good at all. So the last one we talked about was Return of the Living Dead, Rave to the Grave. This movie came out almost identically at the same time, October 2005. I think actually within a week or two of each other, they both came out, and they both pretty much suck. Um, but yeah, this one is streaming right now on Tubi. You can go check it out. I mean, when I talk about these good, bad, I mean, whatever, who cares? This is just my personal opinion on this stuff. And to each their own, I mean. And like for me, I just like to check out zombie movies, good or bad. Usually, I can watch all of them all the way through. So I just like to, collect them all, rank them, review them, see what's up. I like me some zombie movies. So House of the Dead 2. Yep, you can check it out on Tubi. And if you want a quick little overview, it's as a college campus becomes a breeding ground for zombies, investigators Alexandra and Ellis are charged with putting a halt to the beast's killing spree in order to learn more about the contagions that's plaguing students, professors, and other unfortunates. So, yep, another not too great zombie movie from the early 2000s, mid 2000s, 2005. But go ahead and check it out if you want. If you're brave enough, you can throw on House of the Dead 2 and see what you think. Taking the number 33 spot is Zombie. This is a 1979 movie. It is by Lucio Falsi, who I never watched when I was younger, but recently I've gotten into his works. It's pretty vital, I think, for a if you want to have a good horror background, a good foundation, if you want to be a fan, just in general or moving forward, how far you want to take your love for horror movies. Lucio Falsi is really somebody that put out some great work. So again, this is his 1979 movie known as Zombie. This one can be a little bit confusing. It goes by the name Zombie, Zombie 2. It is basically the spiritual successor to George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. He was very influenced by this and put his own Italian spin on it. So I really appreciate his work. I like him as a director. I like the special effects, the gore. It's an older movie. Movies from this time frame, I usually don't rank too high. They don't do it for me. I'm just used to the special effects and over the top and the gore and the action of zombie movies I grew up with in the 90s and 2000s. But you can't go wrong with 1979 Zombie. I would highly recommend you check this one out. It's pretty neat, I believe they're on a Caribbean island, and there's an epidemic that takes place, and then the undead start to rise. So, yeah, there's that. There's a lot of cool scenes in this one. I don't rank it as high, maybe, as others, but here it is at 33 Zombie from 1979. Number 32 belongs to Ravers. This zombie movie was released in 2018. You can watch it on Tubi. So, when a contaminated energy drink turns an illegal rave into a nightmare, a germophobic journalist has to overcome her deepest fears to get her friends out alive. So this is another, you can call it zombie adjacent. It's not your typical bite from a zombie. It gets spread and all that. It comes from a contaminated energy drink, but it's all the same difference once it gets to that point, and the infection takes over. And they start going all aggro on everybody. So that's what's going on here. Set behind a rave scene. So all these zombies start coming out after they get contaminated by the energy drink. They make their way to the rave, and that's where the craziness ensues. This one does have Natasha Henstridge in it, so quite a big name from back in the day. Many of you might not have heard of this one, but you can check it out on Tubi. That's 2018 Ravers. Go ahead, give it a check out. See what you think. Uncontained is an interesting little zombie film. This one was just recently released in 2025. Right now, it looks like you can watch it on Prime, and I would recommend it. It's different. It's a bit of a slow burn. It takes a while to figure out what's going on in this one, but it is unique. Takes a cool little spin on things. A mysterious drifter struggles to protect an abandoned boy and his little sister from an infection that turns people into a feral like state, and a ruthless militia leader searching for his missing daughter. So, it is a zombie movie. It does follow an infection, what happens to people once they are infected with this sickness, and we follow the journey of this main character, who he's also trying to take care of children. It's kind of a weird setup the way it is. He's really against it at first, but then grows to kind of to love these kids and want to care for them. All this with the backdrop of the infection going on, military presence. And it's a story that really focuses on the main character and what he's going through. But yeah, give this one a check out. I don't know why I keep saying check out. That's kind of weird. Check this one out. It's called Uncontained. Check it out on Prime, and it was just released in 2025. With number 30, I think we're finally starting to get out of the basement of zombie movies. Um, so for this number, I'm going to go with The Returned from 2013. It took me a while to watch this one, and if you haven't yet, I don't blame you. It's kind of been buried, but this is the first one I'd almost call a hidden gem as far as zombie movies go. It's really good, and it's more of a dramatic look at the day-to-day living with an infection more than it is fighting off zombies and action and gore that way. In this one, there is a protein that is synthesized that can stop the zombie virus. It can't stop it completely, but it can keep the symptoms at bay, and you can pretty much live a normal life. The movie follows this couple that are in love. It would be Alex and Kate, and in their relationship, the man here, he's been infected. And the female, she has access to the vaccine, we can call it for lack of better terms, and the whole idea is that he's stocking up on it, so he never has to run out. He's got to shoot this shit up like once or twice a day. It's daily. You have to take this to keep the symptoms at bay. And so all of a sudden, there's going to be a shortage. There's betrayal between friends. Everything starts going south. And how can she make sure he still has his medicine and he doesn't start turning into a zombie and attacking her? And just all the play that can go into that makes for a really interesting and exciting movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check out The Returned. This one's from 2013, and it looks like you can stream it for free right now on Tubi. Dropping in 1993, we have Return of the Living Dead Part 3. So, out of the five that I have ranked on this list, this is my second favorite. Coming out in the early 90s, this one is unique. Uniquely set up in the franchise, uniquely set up just as far as zombie movies from the time period. You're getting out of the 80s, you're getting into the 90s. We haven't gotten into the late 90s where we see a new surge in zombie movies going into the early 2000s. So this one sits in a place all of its own, kind of, and it really brings a grunge aesthetic to this movie. The main characters are great. There's a lot of chemistry, good acting. We're following another outbreak of trioxin gas. So basically, these two that are in love, they take off on this dude's motorbike. The female lead of Julie whacks her head off of a light post, and she's done. And the guy is sitting there heartbroken. He decides to bring her to the facility where this trioxin gas is being held, where they're doing research and experiments, and he gives it to her and brings her back to life. And Julie does come back to life, but soon the effects start to take place. I mean, she's turned into a zombie. She starts with all the body modifications, self-harm, for lack of better terms, all these piercings and weird stuff just sticking out of her and her outfit. It's really cool, though, and it breaks down to some good zombie laughs. Again, it's campy. Don't take it too seriously. It's a really strange one for the Return of the Living Dead franchise, but Part 3 would be my second favorite, and you can check this one out on Tubi, and I would recommend it. This is a really fun watch. Another one of these popcorn movies, a little over an hour and a half long. I think you'd have a good time. Number 28 goes to City of the Living Dead. This is another Lucio Fulci movie. I told you there'd be more than one on this list. This one came out way back in 1980. This one has some really crazy effects. The practical effects are pretty insane. It's really gory. That goes hand in hand with the Italian Giallo scene, and Lucio Fulci is probably the most prominent member of that group of directors that did that filming style. I really did enjoy this one. It's creepy. It follows a newsman and a prematurely buried woman. They have to confront the living dead in Massachusetts. So basically, there's a rift. A rift has been torn between our dimension and hell, and it has to be closed by All Saints Day. So it just it unravels into some craziness. The whole storyline is bizarre. There's scenes where a lady is puking up her own guts. There's a priest hanging himself. They get down into the inner workings of this portal that has been tore open into hell, and it's just crazy. The zombies come out, and I some of these movies I don't really care for a whole lot. I think there's a lot of them that are very similar. You could, they're all one and the same, or you can skip them, but not this one. This one is really well done and a really good zombie movie. I definitely recommend you check this one out. And it looks like on Fandango, Amazon Prime with add-ons, so I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't look like it's on Tubi right now, but if you find this, give it a watch. In 2008, George A. Romero dropped Diary of the Dead. This is a pretty fun little movie. So with this one, while on a filming location doing a horror movie, a group of college students find themselves overrun by zombies and ultimately end up capturing the epidemic on film. So this one's kind of neat how it's a friend group doing a horror movie and then it breaks down into zombies coming to life and the apocalypse happening all in real time. So if you count all of Romero's Dead movies, he had the trilogy, however you want to look at it, the original three. And then he came out later on and he did Land of the Dead. Then he did Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead would have been his last movie. And if you want to look at the whole Dead franchise of 6 movies, that would be the end of them. So, with that being said, Diary of the Dead is his second to last film outing. And he really slowed down. I mean, we're getting near the end of his life here as we go, but he still shows that he's one hell of a director. This one, the way it's kind of like found footage, it's doing a little bit more commentary work. I wouldn't say it's like anything like the original Night of the Living Dead, but just the way it's trying to be like found film, found footage, and take some pot shots at society and the military structure and how we're supposed to survive together in a world where everything's falling to shit. There's some themes there. I mean, it's the same director. And this one, it's a fun watch. It's nothing too special. As far as Ramiro goes, I just enjoy his work, and this is another enjoyable movie. I mean, with like 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, you can tell not a lot of people are fans of it. It's not, it's not going to be Land of the Dead. It's not going to be Day of the Dead, anything like that. Diary of the Dead makes for a decent watch, and you can check it out. It's all over the place right now. Amazon Prime, Tubi. So go ahead, check this one out if you haven't seen it. Back from 2008, that is Diary of the Dead. Extinction is from 2015. This one you could call an underrated gem. Nobody talks about this one. I stumbled across it, gave it a watch, and I really enjoyed it. It's not bad. So when an infection turns most of humanity into rabid zombies, 2 men, played by Matthew Fox and Jeffrey Donovan, they take care of a 9-year-old girl, and they must barricade themselves against the monstrous attackers. And this one's taking place in like a frozen setting. It's in the north, lots of snow. This one makes for a good watch, like I said previously. The cast is pretty good with Matthew Fox and Jeffrey Donovan. They do make for good actors. There's good chemistry in this movie. They're going at each other for most of it. Things that had happened in the past hasn't been resolved. Questions about how the girl's being raised, but at the end of the day, it's a survival setting. It's a post-apocalyptic movie, and the zombies are pretty creepy and crazy. They hunt and they stalk, and when they come at you, they come at you hard. So I was quite impressed with the zombie designs, the action of this one, and just the overall story of it. So go ahead and give Extinction a watch if you haven't seen it. It's not. It doesn't look like it's really streaming anywhere. It's up for rent for $3.99. I'm not too big on renting movies that are a decade old, paying money to see them. If you absolutely wanted to, go ahead, but see if you can track this one down somewheres or wait till it's streaming, and it's a pretty good watch. Released in 2008, Quarantine is a found footage style zombie movie. If you've ever heard of Wreck, that is a Spanish movie, a really great zombie franchise. And basically, what Quarantine is it is the remaking, the reimagining of the first one. And I shouldn't even call it a reimagining because, as far as remakes go, it's about as faithful as you can get. It goes basically step for step, frame for frame with the Spanish movie Wreck. It's not bad. People shit on this. This is America's take on trying to take the popular Spanish movie and turn it into something for the American audience. I would just recommend watching Rec with the subtitles. Trust me, it's worth it. So basically, the gist is there's a reporter. They're doing a reality TV program when all of a sudden, and they're doing this at a fire station. There's an emergency. They go to an old, creepy hotel, and from there, just shit starts to go crazy. Not only is it zombie infection, it's basically like possession, like demonic possession, but with the zombie infection being spread type twist. And that's an interesting genre to dive into. There's actually going to be a couple more, at least one more movie on this list that's like that. So it's a mix between the traditional zombie movie, how the infection is spread, but mixed with that infection, that plague that's happening to you being demonic in nature. So yeah, like I said, people shit on this one. It's not the best. You can watch it. It's decent. I mean, it's number 25 on here. It's about middle of the pack, a little bit less. But Quarantine 2008. Give this one a watch. I'm trying to see here. I don't see it. It don't look like it's streaming for free anywheres. But that is Quarantine from 2008. Coming in at number 24, we get our first entry from the Resident Evil franchise. This one goes back to 2004 and it's titled Apocalypse. So we're going to do a run on all these movies except for the last one I have not ranked and reviewed yet. So this comes to us from writer Paul W.S. Anderson. He's the one involved with all these movies, the whole franchise, and of course it stars Mila Jovovich. Um, Underrated actress, really, been in a ton of great movies. She's been in some really great movies from the early 90s all the way up to today. Lately, it seems like she's stuck in this stereotype where this type of character is the only one that she plays. She's come out with a couple here lately. Not the greatest, but if you're into your action horror, your action zombie movies, these ones are at the top of the list, really. They're not the type of movie to make you think, to sit there and to really break down and analyze. They're more of, hey, do you want to see zombies coming after you and this chick that can do every type of martial art move and shoot the fuck out of all the zombies? That's basically what you're getting here. And this one was about the Nemesis project. It's got quite the ensemble cast. You're following around the STARS operatives as they're trying to escape from Nemesis. Alice needs to show up and save the day. And that's what you got here with Resident Evil Apocalypse. Not my favorite from the series, probably my least favorite. And this movie finds itself at number 24. The previous entry had my first Resident Evil title on here, and the very next one is my first title from the Rec franchise. So this is Rec 3. This would be my least favorite out of the franchise. It's called Genesis. This one came out in 2012. This is, if you heard me bring up Rec earlier when we were discussing Quarantine, this is the series I was referring to. Now, mind you, this is the third one in this franchise. It dropped back in 2012. It's directed by Paco Plaza. So this one is interesting as far as the franchise goes. It's really a departure from the other movies. Newlyweds watch their wedding reception descend into chaos and carnage when their guests become infected by a virus that turns them into hungry zombies. So this is watching the whole zombie outbreak happen at a wedding, and it makes for an interesting watch. There's a lot of gore, a lot of violence. The bride running around with a chainsaw and doing all types of crazy antics to survive and get back to her husband, which she eventually does, and then this one breaks down into a super sad ending. But if you're looking for a movie with a lot of action, if you're getting into the Rec series, this is a pretty decent film. Directly following Rec 3 Genesis on this list of 41 zombie movies is Rec 4 Apocalypse. And I don't know what it is about zombie franchises and Apocalypse needing to be one of the titles. I get it, definitely, but maybe they're running low on ideas. So you've got Resident Evil followed directly by Rec 4, and both of them share the same title as far as Apocalypse goes. So there you have it. The survivors of a strange contagion turning humans into ghouls are aboard a quarantine ship where a doctor attempts to work out the source of the outbreak. So it looks like this one dropped on Halloween of 2014. Again, this is still the same franchise. This is a Spanish franchise. This one has a runtime of a little less than 2 hours, and it's rated R. This one was interesting if you like your terror on the high seas. They're taking the contagion that was originally found on land at the creepy hotel, and now it's affecting people aboard this ship, with some really good scenes as far as gore and carnage goes. The cook on this ship is the first to really get the contagion and start spreading it. And him being the cook, as we all know, if we've done any food safety training, huh, lol, that's not very good. That's a good way to spread any infection. So this one is it's amped up on the horror, on the action. It ties in part three, which is kind of neat. There's an old lady on the boat who was part of the wedding, and this one has it continues the story with the main characters. The main character is back. There was a departure in the third one. We didn't have her in this one. She's back. And this is the last one in the series. It puts a good cap on it. Um, it's not a bad watch. It's not for everybody, but I like this one a little bit better than part 3. Resident Evil Extinction dropped in 2007. This is another rated R movie with a runtime of a little over an hour and a half. Um, Rotten Tomatoes for this one is a 24%. As you're probably going to find if you start researching these movies, not critically acclaimed, but holy shit, did they mop up at the box office. This franchise has brought in billions of dollars over its lifetime, and you can hate on them all you want, but if you got that many people watching it and spending their money on it, you know it's doing something right. For this one, captured by the Umbrella Corp, Alice receives genetic alterations that leave her with superhuman abilities. Hiding out in the Nevada desert, she joins forces with her former cohorts, Carlos and LJ, as well as new survivors Claire and Kmart. And with this one, like the little excerpt said, you're in the Nevada desert. This is after the contagion has happened. It's post-apocalyptic. She's going there with a giant convoy of survivors. This one kind of goes off the rails. She's got telekinetic powers. She's moving things with her mind. You got the crows in this one, which are infected by the virus and they attack people. It's got that big convoy. It's kind of cool for the action, traveling the wasteland to get to where they need to go. It's a little bit better than Apocalypse, in my opinion. It's still not the greatest, but if you're looking for just something to shut your brain off, check this out for an hour and a half, see some cool zombies. This might be the movie for you. 1978 brought with it George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. A solid decade after Night of the Living Dead, we had to wait for Dawn of the Dead. This one is beloved by a lot of fans. You've got Tom Savini with his awesome makeup work, his awesome designs for the zombies. This one follows what happens after the world goes to shit and a bunch of survivors find themselves finally making it to the mall. So very iconic scene. It's Romero's take on consumerism, just the way our society works. It's very interesting. There's a lot of nods to things like that in this movie, things to pay attention to. You got the crazy bikers entering the mall. You got one of the main characters getting bit and watching his slow descent into turning into a zombie and all that goes with that. I really do enjoy the mall setting, the whole idea behind this one. Again, it's Ramiro. I can't really talk shit about it. As far as the original trilogy goes, you've got Night, Dawn, and Day. This is my least favorite. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to get chased off YouTube here. I don't think this movie is horrible. It doesn't do it for me like some of the other ones in his franchise and on the list that you'll see here today. But at number 20, I've got 1978's Dawn of the Dead. Number 19 is 2012's Resident Evil Retribution. This is the third from the Resident Evil series to be brought up on this list. In this one, as the Umbrella Corporation's deadly T-virus continues to turn the world's population into legions of flesh-eating zombies, Alice, the human race's last hope, awakens deep within Umbrella's secret operations facility. This one is a wild ride. You've got the underwater complex, you've got submarines, you've got the outpost in Russia, where there's an epic final boss scene, fight scene with Rain and Alice, which is pretty decent. As far as the series goes, that one sticks out to me. And then this one has the epic ending where they're on top of the White House battling it out for survival. So nothing special here. I like it well enough, and this is Resident Evil Retribution. Next up is Resident Evil Afterlife from 2010. So this would be the fourth entry into the Resident Evil series that we've talked about here today. So with this one here, in a world overrun with the Walking Dead, Alice continues her battle against Umbrella Corp. Rounding up survivors along the way, joined by an old friend, Alice and her group set out for a rumored safe haven in Los Angeles. So this one is just overrun by zombies. I mean, we're in a huge facility, a huge skyscraper, and these survivors are just barely hanging on. They're running out of supplies. The place is just, I mean, there's millions of zombies. And then Alice comes in to save the day, landing a plane on top of this skyscraper, and it just breaks down into survival at its most simplest, trying to find a way to escape all these damn zombies everywhere. And of course we've got the mutated ones. It's not just your regular roamers out there walking around. I mean, there's so many mutated different monsters in the Resident Evil series. That's what makes it fun for me. But this one sticks out, maybe surprisingly. It looks like it's my second favorite in the series, and give it a watch if you want. Again, like we've already discussed, not a critical darling at all. Nothing that's going to be a high score on Rotten Tomatoes. But, you know, if you're a fan, you're a fan. And for me, this is where Afterlife falls.
In the dark of the night, something strange is going on.
The answer to that iconic question is always yes. Yes, I want to party. So here we go with The Return of the Living Dead. This is one of my favorites. This is a darling of mine. Right now you can view this on Tubi. It dropped back in 1985. And when Foreman Frank shows new employee Freddy a secret military experiment in a supply warehouse, the two Klutzes accidentally release a gas that reanimates corpses into flesh-eating zombies. And this one is just a joy. If you're from the newer generation, if you're a younger person getting into horror, please go check this one out. The gore's there, the zombies there, the comedy is there. It's just punk to the core. This came out the year I was born, so I can always hang my hat on that, I suppose. So yeah, a couple things with this one. It's pretty cool. So with this, you got send more paramedics. The zombies can actually talk. They're a little bit intelligent in this one. The paramedics show up, the cops, they eat all their brains, and they get on the radio and say, "Send me some more." And this one is also very famous for the character played by Linnea Quigley. Probably butchering her first name, Linnea. She plays the character of Trash, but I mean, holy shit, the whole opening sequence is just her buck naked for 5 minutes. So yeah, that's pretty memorable. And another one I like from this is when they capture one of the zombies and put it on an autopsy table and try to figure out what's going on. She says it hurts. It hurts to be dead. They're trying to eat brains so they can have just a little bit of feeling of life. It kind of explains that a little bit, which some other movies don't. And so it's got its points. It's got its merits. It's not just a slapstick comedy movie. It's really fun. The main characters, everything about this one is great. So you've got Tom Matthews, who plays Freddy, James Karen, who plays Frank. This is just a classic. I know it might seem a little low on this list, but I'm giving it its flowers here, and I really do enjoy The Return of the Living Dead. Mads is a zombie movie that released in 2024. I think most people are familiar with this one by now, but if you've slept on it, go ahead and check this one out. This is a French film. One of the things that sets it apart is that it was shot all at once. It was one take, one day, one continuous stream of filming. That is how they went and put this one together. And the way it shows on film is pretty interesting. I mean, it's like non-stop, fast-paced action. So for a little overview of this one, 18-year-old Romain has just graduated and makes a stop at his dealer's place to try a new pill. As he heads off to a party, he sees an injured woman on the side of the road and decides to help her. But when she gets in the car, she suddenly smashes her own head against the dashboard, bleeding out until she dies. So that's how this one starts. This dude's going to his local dealer. He's getting high. He's driving his car around, finds this chick on the side of the road, and then holy fuck, it just breaks down into chaos. I would highly recommend this one. It's only an hour and a half long. It looks like this is an AMC Shudder movie. That's where you can find it. Underrated, perhaps. I think a lot of people know about this one, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. But if you haven't had the chance, go check out this French zombie movie, Mads. For number 15, I have When Evil Lurks. This horror movie came out in 2023. I thought this pick might be a little controversial. I'm kind of interested in other people's takes and opinions on this one. I mean, trust me, get it. I watched it. I get the premise of it, what it's all about. It's not, I don't think you'd look this up as a zombie movie, but I'm kind of throwing it into the mix. So, when the residents of a small rural town discover that a demon is about to be born among them, they desperately try to escape, but it may be too late. Coming out in 2023, this is an Argentina film, distributed by Shudder. You can find it right now on AMC Plus. So yeah, really great movie. Lots of gore, lots of action. I fell in love with this one when I finally got a chance to watch it. But would you consider it a zombie movie? I mean, the effects that take place, the breakdown of the body, the way that the infection is spread, it all signals to a zombie movie to me. But I get that it's a demon, that it's paranormal, that's what's getting passed around, not a infection per se. So regardless, really great movie that just came out not too long ago. Like I said, an Argentine film. Just an eerie premise, just really nasty, gross, rotting corpses, lots of action. So that is what I've got for number 15, When Evil Lurks. Curious to, am I way off base with calling this a zombie movie, or do you think I get a pass on it? Wreck 2 is the next zombie movie we'll talk about, being released in 2009. Another one rated R. This one is just a little under an hour and a half. I really appreciate that with some movies and with franchises. If I'm going to do a deep dive, really look into them, that hour and a half mark is where I like to stay. Once you get to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you're investing a lot of your day into some of these movies. So with this one, you can watch it on Tubi, which is pretty sweet. A doctor and a SWAT team enter a quarantine building where a virus has turned the residents into a pack of ravenous monsters. So this is the third out of four of the Wreck movies that we've talked about so far in that franchise. This is a competent sequel to the original. You got some, I believe this is the one where it's more found footage. You're watching through body cams of the SWAT team. They're re-entering the hotel. to try and stave off the infection. People were supposed to be quarantined here, and that's kind of the premise of this one. It's creepy. There's some cool images in this. Wreck, the whole series, I love it. As far as the imagery, the zombie designs, the whole idea behind it. And once you go down this rabbit hole, you start learning about the Vatican, demonic possession, how it gets spread, which is pretty insane. The parasite, what it does. So that's Rec 2 from 2009. Working our way up the list of these 41 random zombie movies that I've ranked is from 2023, and it's We Are Zombies. If you haven't heard of this one, you're probably not alone. I was very happy when I stumbled across this one. You can find it on Tubi. I highly recommend going and seeing this. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, easily accessible through Tubi. This is definitely more of a comedy zombie movie. This is in the same vein as Shaun of the Dead or Boy Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. If you vibe with movies like that, you're probably going to enjoy this one. I found it really fresh. This is probably the best zombie movie I've seen that's come out lately. I haven't seen one better than this since I watched it a year or two ago. I just like the idea that it wasn't anything rehashed. It wasn't a remake of this. It was people actually came up with a plot, a script, and put a movie together with zombies, and it's actually half decent. Two siblings and their friend must save their grandmother from an evil corporation in a world where zombies coexist with humans. So it's crazy right off the bat, like that title right there says. You're coexisting with them. At a certain point, if they break down too much or get too ornery, there's a corporation that'll go in and remove them. So it's slapstick funny like that, but don't get it twisted. There's gore, there's zombies, and at the end, the whole end sequence is just really a favorite of mine. The zombie boss design is pretty intense. The kids with the weapons, well, not really kids, but the young adults go in there and just kick ass. If you haven't seen this, We Are Zombies. If you like your zombies with a little bit of comedy, check this one out. I'm really high on it, and it's a good watch. Next up, we've got Day of the Dead from 1985. So this is the middle of the first three of the George A. Romero Dead trilogy. Tom Savini's back in this one with his awesome designs, makeup work, all that. And that's a big part to these movies, which really set him apart. His work on it added quite a lot of value to these movies. You can watch this for free on Tubi. Trapped in a missile silo, a small team of scientists, civilians, and trigger-happy soldiers battle desperately to ensure the survival of the human race. But tension inside the base is reaching a breaking point, and the zombies are gathering outside. Yeah, that is a nice little recap of what this movie is. So, claustrophobic horror for sure. I mean, you're trapped inside this military facility, and then there's the underground works. There's like a mine where a lot of the craziness happens. This is really good. I like it a lot better than Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead from 1985. So from night to dawn, you had a decade in between. In between dawn and day, you had another like 7 years. So they didn't throw these right out. There was a lot of time putting these together. And this one from 1985, Day of the Dead, is a really awesome zombie flick. I suggest you go out and watch this. All the old heads, you already know that. You've probably seen this a couple dozen times, but sitting right there on Tubi, go check this one out.
Night of the living dead, the dead who live on living flesh. The dead whose haunted souls hunt the living.
Alright, so the OG Night of the Living Dead finally makes its appearance. I've got it here just outside of the top 10 at number 11. This is really an awesome watch. This is a movie everybody should should definitely see. This will help you in your horror journey. This will help set your foundation for horror movies. This is George A. Romero's classic. Not only is it just about horror, about zombies, there's so much social commentary, the casting, everything going on with civil rights and all that in the 60s. This movie is here. It puts it on display. It's a real statement. This is a work of art. It truly is. It's black and white. They also do a color version, but I seem to vibe with the black and white version well enough. Just a great movie. A desperate group of individuals take refuge in an abandoned house when corpses begin to leave the graveyard in search of fresh human bodies to devour. The pragmatic Ben does his best to control the situation, but when the reanimated bodies surround the house, the other survivors begin to panic. So just a classic. The way the footage is used in here, the news footage, the whole battle for survival while they're in the house, the zombies coming to knock down the doors, the walls to get in and get them. You've got the young daughter turning and attacking the parents. You got the battle struggle between Ben and the other members in this survival party, and then just leading to the ending. And that final scene with the corpses burning just will live rent-free in my head forever. So 1968's Night of the Living Dead, one of the classics, one of the originals. You had zombie movies going way back into the 20s, the 30s, White Zombie, all this and that. So let's not get it twisted, but with this blew the door off of how we look at zombies today, zombies in popular culture, and it's all thanks to George A. Romero in 1968's Night of the Living Dead. Breaking my top 10 is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City from 2021. I'm probably a little bit higher on this than most people. I know it might seem like sacrilege having this be my first top 10 movie after we just saw the OG Night of the Living Dead. That's just where my preferences lie. I'm all over the place with my horror movies. I appreciate the old school ones, the ones that laid the foundation, Romero, Fulci, all of those classics I really do like. But like I said, my headspace for zombie movies is gore, action, ramped up. You've seen the Resident Evil series brought up, The Wreck. Those are the movies I'm into, along with the older ones. I try and have them pretty sprinkled throughout here, trying to pay respect to all these different zombie movies over the ages. So, welcome to Raccoon City. Once the booming home of pharmaceutical giant Umbrella Corp, the company's exodus left the city a wasteland, a dying town with great evil brewing below the surface. When that evil is unleashed, a group of survivors must work together to uncover the truth behind Umbrella and make it through the night. So with this one, I don't consider it part of the original six-film series of Resident Evil starring Mila Jovovich. This is its own spin, its own take on things, and I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of sick action in this. The zombies are fucking badass, and this one was just an edgier seat thrill ride. I enjoyed it. It seems to pay a little bit more respect to the game. As far as being in the mansion is cool, seeing the visuals from that, being in Raccoon City, seeing what happens there. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't tie into the game exactly, just like the other series doesn't. But for me, this was a pleasant surprise, and Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City from 2021 is firmly in the 10th position on my zombie ranking list. Next up, we've got the original Resident Evil movie from 2002 with a runtime of an hour and 40 minutes and rated R. So this was the first one that came out back in '02. Again, this is written, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. It is starring Mila Jovovich. It also has Michelle Rodriguez in it. I can remember the hype behind this one when it came out. I mean, this came out, I was 17 years old, still in high school. Big fan of the video games, big fan of zombie movies, and then this was just like at the epicenter of all that. To me, it was just the coolest thing ever when it first came out. I've gone back and watched all the Resident Evils, and to be honest with you, a lot of them don't hold up. But this original one here, it really does. I enjoy it. It's based on the popular video game, and Mia Djokovic and Michelle Rodriguez star as the leaders of a commando team who must break into the Hive, a vast underground genetics laboratory operated by the powerful Umbrella Corporation. There, a deadly virus has been unleashed, killing the lab's personnel and resurrecting them as the evil undead. The team has just 3 hours to shut down the lab's supercomputer and close the facility before the virus threatens to overrun the Earth. So yeah, that's where all this the great action takes place is in the Hive, and then Alice works her way out, and you got that iconic scene of her standing there amongst all the destruction in Raccoon City. And to me, that stands out. That's one of the memories that really sticks out to me with this film, and I just super enjoy it. So again, this is my personal rankings. Some of you might think this is dog shit. More power to you, but Resident Evil from '02. This one is just always going to be a classic zombie movie to me, and that's why it lands so high on this list. Moving right along, we got the movie Wreck from 2007. So we've talked about this movie quite a bit without actually covering it throughout this list. It started with the US remake known as Quarantine, and we've already seen the other Wreck movies on here, part 2, 3, and 4. So, of course, the highest position, the best movie out of that series, of course, is the original. This rated R classic from 2007. It only runs for an hour and 18 minutes. It's on the shorter side. You can thankfully watch this on Tubi. If you haven't seen this, fire up Tubi and go check this out. This is, I've got it ranked high. This is probably on the short list of a lot of people's favorite zombie movies. Late night TV host Angela and her cinematographer are following the fire service on a call to a flat building, but the Spanish police seal off the building after an old woman is infected by a virus which gives her inhuman strength. So this one it breaks down into some great action. Everybody being stuck in this flat, this hotel, whatever you want to call it, and then just one by one the shit starts popping off. The real secrets and what's going on with this infection and everything is upstairs, and those secrets will be figured out later on in the movie. And like we touched on, kind of adding zombie movies with demonic possession, and we've touched on that with the other Wreck movies and with When Evil Lurks. So like I said, curious about how you take a look at that. With this, for Wreck, there's no question in my mind, I'd call it a zombie movie. When Evil Lurks, I can see how that one's more debatable. But getting back to this one, it's really good. You got an IMDb score of 7.4. You get 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and personally, I really enjoy it. It's Spanish. It's very high paced, a lot of action. Once you get inside the flat, like I said, that's where the story really takes place. That's where the characters start to intertwine with each other. They really start to get fleshed out. You figure out what's going on, that the building's getting put into quarantine, that these people have to survive. You're waiting for the government to come up with an answer and to extract these people, and then it breaks down into a downward spiral of just everybody's getting killed, everybody's getting murdered. It's really scary as hell. So I highly recommend Wreck from 2007. Go and check this one out for yourself on Tubi and tell me what you think. My number 7 selection is House of the Dead from 2003. Yes, I realize I may be one of the only people in the world to enjoy this. I realize that it has a Rotten Tomato score of 3%, but fuck all the haters. This is one of my favorite zombie movies. I'm just a product of my environment. That age, once again, like you've seen with a lot of these late 90s, early 2000s movies, that's my hotspot. These are my jam. I can't help my age, and when I started building my love for horror and music, it all started around the same time, and this movie was it was right there, and I super, super enjoy it. And, just don't yuck on my yum too bad. I like this, so what? Get over it. Simon and Greg meet a group of friends and set out to attend a rave on a remote island. When they miss the ferry, they decide to ride with Kirk, a smuggler. They find the island deserted and discover that the partygoers have been killed by zombies. Now the group must evade the deadly creatures and try to find safety. However, the only means of escape, Kirk's boat, has been overrun, forcing the survivors to ward off the undead. And this one has a lot of lore to it, backstory. It's about like a Spanish conquistador that got stuck on this island. He was a doctor and started performing all these strange experiments to basically have an army of the living dead to keep him going, to keep him alive. And that's where the movie takes place. When our main characters make it to the island and they miss out on the rave and they try to figure out what's going on, they stumble upon these secrets and have to find a way to escape. So there it is in a nutshell. This is my zombie movie hot take. This is one of my faves, even though I know most people don't like it. And that theme song, I mean, how can you not watch that and get amped up? That's what it does for me. Grabbing the next spot is 28 Years Later, released in 2025. This movie is rated R with a runtime of just shy of 2 hours. So this one is pretty crazy. I know that fans are split on this one, and what I like to keep in mind is it seems like this is going to be the first of a new three-peat of movies. So, I mean, they got to be good on their own, but if you take it in that context where this is building up to the next one, which was the Bone Temple, which is building up to the next one, it might make more sense. I know the ending to this one threw some people off. To me, yeah, it was out of place, but it didn't ruin it for me. So you got the OG 28 Days Later, came out, I believe it was 01 or 02. And this one came out in 25, so you got a good 23-year gap at least in between these movies. That's not to forget 28 Weeks Later, which was thrown in there. People want to discount that one or, whatever with that, but that's still a great movie, one of the best zombie intros ever, and I like that one. I just haven't had a chance to see it here in the last year or two and rank it, or you would definitely see it on this list. So with all that out of the way, it's been almost 3 decades since the rage virus escaped from a biological weapons laboratory. Still living in a ruthlessly enforced quarantine, some have found ways to exist amid the infected. One such group of survivors lives on a small island connected to the mainland by a single, heavily defended causeway. When one of them decides to venture into the dark heart of the mainland, he soon discovers a mutation that has spread to not only the infected, but other survivors as well. So yeah, this one dropped back in June of 2025, directed by Danny Boyle. One hell of a director. He's got a very artistic sensibility to him when he does his films and his filming style. I'm a big fan. So with this one, I lied a little bit there when I said I think back a few movies ago it was We Are Zombies. That was the best newer one I've seen. I suppose it would have to be 28 Years Later would actually take the cake on that. I really did enjoy this one. It did leave me a little bit scratch my head thinking, where would I place this? How would I rate this? What do I think of it compared to Days and Weeks? But to be honest, I really liked it. I liked the acting. I liked the zombie designs, the whole boy trying to transition into manhood with going out for the hunt with his dad. The mother having the illness, Ralph Fiennes' character and what he's doing, how he's looking at death. All that is pretty cool. The alphas are some crazy zombie designs. Cinematically, the movie is great, and it's leaving some questions. There's some mystery about it, so I'm excited to go back and get a chance to watch the Bone Temple and the one that comes out after that. So here we go with 28 Years Later, a newer one, but it shot right up the rankings on my zombie movies. And what do you think of this one? Have you seen this one yet? Does it fit the bill for a regular one hell of a zombie watch, or is it a little too strange, a little too out there for you? Finally cracking the top 5, we have 2005's Land of the Dead. This one is a George A. Romero directed film. It's got quite the cast here. We got John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper, Simon Baker, Asia Argento, just to name a few. Really great cast in this one. In a world where zombies form the majority of the population, the remaining humans build a feudal society away from the undead. Ruthless Paul Kaufman rules the rules and protects this microcosm but enforces painful class distinctions. Second in command Cholo attempts to lead a secret rebellion against Kaufman's tyranny, but when the zombies begin to evolve, the survivors must discover a way to protect themselves from a zombie horde that can learn and adapt. So this one's really badass. This whole run of movies here from '03, '04, '05, it was just an awakening of zombie movies, ones that I really enjoy. So this one's pretty cool because it's Ramiro. He's getting to do one in the new millennium, but he's actually got a decent budget, a decent cast to pull it off, and it's just really one of my favorites. As soon as this one dropped, I really enjoyed it. I've been watching it ever since. So this is George A. Romero's Land of the Dead from 2005. The number 4 spot goes to Shaun of the Dead from 2004. This horror comedy is rated R and runs for an hour and 39 minutes. So this one is a beloved movie by just about any zombie fan. 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. This one is an Edgar Wright directed film starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, the two main characters that are in a bromance together while Simon's character Sean is trying to navigate work and his relationship, and Ed is there just to want to get stoned and play video games. So it's a nice little back and forth these two share. Sean is a 30-something loser with a dull, easy existence. When he's not working at the electronics store, he lives with his slovenly best friend Ed in a small flat on the outskirts of London. The only unpredictable element in his life is his girlfriend Liz, who wishes desperately for Sean to grow up and be a man. When the town is inexplicably overrun with zombies, Sean must rise to the occasion and protect both Liz and his mother. And so that's what this movie breaks down, him doing, manning up and trying to protect the women in his life. And it's just, it's funny as all hell, but it's also really cool zombie designs. Makes for a really good zombie movie. Probably, most definitely my top rated horror comedy on this list. You just can't go wrong with this. 2004's Shaun of the Dead.
Everybody will be treated all the same. There'll be a golden light reaching down when the man
2004's Dawn of the Dead. This movie is directed by Zack Snyder. It's got quite the cast to it, too. You're looking at Sarah Polley, Ving Rhames, Jake Weber, Mekhi Phifer, and Ty Burrell, just to name some of them. There are many great actors in this film. So, when her husband is attacked by a zombified neighbor, Anna manages to escape, only to realize her entire Milwaukee neighborhood has been overrun by the Walking Dead. After being questioned by cautious policeman Kenneth, Anna joins him in a small group that gravitates to the local shopping mall as a bastion of safety. Once they convince suspicious security guards that they are not contaminated, the group bands together to fight the undead hordes. We've already seen the original Dawn of the Dead on this list, and this is the remake of that came out in '04. We've gone over the great actors and Zack Snyder directing this. But this one has probably one of the best opens to any horror movie, any zombie movie, and it's really gritty, and what I like about it is it's that feel that this could happen to you. You're with the survivors trying to get to the mall, trying to survive, trying to outlast the zombies. And that, I haven't really seen a zombie movie that's made me feel like that. This one is in my top 3 for a reason. It's one of my favorites, and stick around here shortly. We'll see what the top 2 zombie movies are.
They're dead. And you're gonna be next.
28 Days Later was released in 2002 and has a runtime of just a little under 2 hours. This film is also rated R. A group of misguided animal rights activists free a caged chimp infected with the rage virus from a medical research lab. When London bike courier Jim wakes up from a coma a month after he finds his city all but deserted. On the run from the zombie-like victims of the rage, Jim stumbles upon a group of survivors, including Selena and cab driver Frank, and joins them on a perilous journey to what he hopes will be safety. So this one is an amazing film. Great actors in this one. You've got the whole vibe with what's going on with the world outside, because Jim has been in the hospital here for 28 days in a coma, and he just wakes up. Following his journey after this, going into the church, the end is nigh, seeing the priest and all the dead bodies. It's really unsettling. Then he meets up with the band of survivors. And from there, he needs to go and see if his parents are still alive. There's a zombie attack. And then, of course, it's when he finally runs into the father and daughter, and they make their way to try and find like the one last outpost that's still around, hoping it'll be sanctuary. And in the end, it turns up to be anything but. The very few people that are left in the military have some ulterior motives in trying to track people down to come hang out with them. And Jim just goes wild at the end. They try to kill him. He sneaks back in, and there's a scene where one of the zombies is released along with him, and they're trying to break into the house. And you can't tell if Jim's a zombie or a human. He's just full of rage himself. Just an excellent movie. Recommend this to anybody that hasn't seen it. I love me some Dawn of the Dead, and I love me some 28 Days Later, but in my opinion, I've seen no better zombie movie than 2016's Train to Busan. A man catches a train to Busan with his daughter on her birthday to go see his wife. However, things take a nightmarish turn when a zombie outbreak occurs in South Korea. So this movie has it all. The action is nonstop. They're on a high-speed train for most of this movie. They get to see all the effects of what's going on the outside as they go through the different stations, the different landscapes. But then that infection finds its way on the inside, and they've got to block off car by car, fight for every inch, tooth and nail. It's just amazing. All with the backdrop of a father trying to keep his daughter safe. Lots of different characters come out in this one. There's ones you're cheering for, ones you could care less if they get bit in the neck, and it just all culminates in the ending. A truly, truly action-packed zombie movie. Some of the best horror sequences I've ever seen. Just the way the father sacrifices himself, everything that he is for his daughter. That very sad ending of them walking the railroad tracks through the tunnel until they finally get to the military and are saved. I mean, she starts singing and humming the song from her school recital that he didn't get a chance to go see because he was all caught up in being work, work, work. That's all life was. And by the end of the movie, when he realized what life was really all about, he had no more life left to give. This one is just an amazing film. The number one zombie movie that I have seen. Alright, zombie fans, if you made it to the end, you're a maniac. This is definitely the longest video I've ever made, especially without even going off a script. So, just wanted to go over some zombie movies I've watched recently. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. This is Planet Phobia signing off, and as always, wishing you good luck on your zombie journey.